All right, I want to create windows that are up here in this level, so I'm going to go to the roof level now. And in that roof level, I'm going to see walls that extend up past the first floor tops of walls, and I can see part of my roof. These are the walls here that I want to put those sliding windows that are wide and short. So I'm going to go under the window tool, pick the slider windows, and I want to pick the ones that I think this 36 by 24 should work because it's 36 inches wide by 24 inches deep. And if those aren't going to work, we'll know once we put the roof in for the porch, then we can go with the 36 by 18. So I'll select that, and I want to put those windows in, and then we'll adjust their positions more precisely when we get into dimensioning this project. So now we have those 3 windows in. I want to see where they are in the 3D view, and if we look at them like this, I can decide if they've been placed properly. I think I might want to change these to 48 by 24. Let's see if we have a 48 by 24. We do, and I do like that better. So for now we're good. If we did want to adjust the windows, most likely we'd want these windows to line up and these windows to line up and this window to line up with this door. And we'll do all that when we get into dimensioning. We'll make sure everything's aligned and looking perfect. Right now we'll put the porch in here. So I'm going to go to the first floor view. And I want to add some columns out here that are going to support that porch. Before I do so, I'm just going to draw a little floor that's going to become our deck this time. So I'm going to use the generic, but I'm going to change it, duplicate it, and we'll call that generic, or actually I'm going to call that deck. I'm going to make up my new, and I'm going to assume that we're going to have a 2 by 8 deck with decking. So I'm going to go deck, 2 by 8, and then 1-inch decking. Okay, under structure, if we click on that edit button, we can get into the structure and we can make changes. So I want this structure here to be wood. So I'm going to go down to the bottom and we'll say structure wood joist rafter. And I want it to be 7.25 inches. And I want to add a substrate. I'm sorry, we'll make that a finish, and that category will be wood. And I guess we'll call it wood dimensional lumber. And I would make that 1 inch because we're going to use 5/4 decking. What this will do now is create, if we look at a preview of it, 2 layers. We have the wood layer that's the structure, and then our finish is the 1-inch decking. So when I create my floor this time, I'm going to use the rectangle. And I want to just align it with the outside walls here and make that so it's approximately the size that I want. Remember that we can always go back in after the fact and make those adjustments. So I'm going to make that 6 feet, and then I like where it's landed everywhere else. So you hit the check box, and we'll take a look at it in 3D, and now we have a little porch to walk out onto. I'll go back to my first floor view, and I'm going to create some columns. So we'll go under columns. I want architectural columns. And the 8 by 8 is a little too big, so I'm going to edit the type, duplicate it, and I'm going to do a 6-inch by 6-inch column instead. So I'll change the depth to 6 and the width to 6. And then I'm just going to place those columns for now about where I think I want them. Again, we will worry about exact dimensions a little later when we get into dimensioning. Take a look at the 3D view. I like it so far. Okay, So now we're ready for that roof on the front porch. So I'm going to go back into the roof tool, roof by footprint. Yes, I want it to be associated with the roof level. And I am going to use the rectangle tool again to define that roof. So we'll define the roof to match the porch. And then I will select the roof, turn off define slope on these three sides here, this side, so that the only slope is on this front edge. I want to set this slope to probably the same pitch as the one in the back. And then I do want to create a 1 foot overhang. So I'll make that 7 feet. I'll make this side here. If I were to pull that out, I can adjust where this witness line is going and have it go to the outside face of stud and set that to 1 foot. And then I could do the same thing on this side. So the first thing is to just kind of move it out a little bit. Then a dimension will be established, and I want that to go to outside face of stud. And then I can, whoops, it just wiggled on me. Then I can click on the dimension and change that to 1 foot. So I've got all of my measurements in place. So hit the checkbox and look at our 3D view. So this is what I'm looking at. I want to make sure that that roof cleared the bottom sill of those windows. And I think that I'm going to adjust it a little bit. So instead of this being at level with this, I'm going to drop that roof system down. See how I have base offset? I'm going to put in -1 foot. And that's what I want to see right there. Okay, so now we have our house pretty much laid out. The next steps would be to add our foundations. And that's what we're going to be doing in the videos to follow. We're going to experiment with putting different types of foundation systems underneath this camp. Oh, one other thing that I meant to do, and I will do that by going into the floor view, is to adjust the heights of these walls. So I'm going to select one wall that's an interior wall, right click and choose select all instances visible in view. You see it selects all those interior walls, and I want to then go to my 3D view. Those items should remain selected. As you can see through here, I can hit attach top base, pick the roof, and now all the walls are attached to the roof. And yeah, so the next videos will be all the series of videos that we need for the foundations.